Hey, brothers, you're listening to Home Bar Happy Hour. We're talking about the cold, we're talking about hogs getting slaughtered, and we're talking about rampant shit. Dude, just getting wild this year, this week, this year. We're getting amped up. We're not letting all this cold bring us down, brothers. Let's roll, America.
All right, let's roll indeed. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Home Bar Happy Hour. We bring happy hour to you. My name is Joe. That is Chef Gus. Thank you, everyone, for stopping by the Home Bar. If you like hanging out, please make sure to subscribe on YouTube or leave us a review on the podcast service of your choice. Our episode today is sponsored by buyblacket.com. We're going to tell you about that a little bit later, but right now, let's get into it. You are right, Mike. What a cold snap, and we are trying to stay out of it. A polar vortex is what they're calling it.
Yeah, I've worked through one of these before, and they are absolutely brutal. So if you're working out in this stuff, bless your heart, man. I mean, I give all the respect to you. Just like our men, our brothers and sisters in the armed services down in Washington, D.C. We have some brothers down there, trying to stay warm and stuff.
Yeah.
Even that game. But before we get to that game, I just want to touch on one thing down there, Joe.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into it or anything like that with the inauguration, but the inauguration as a ceremony in a whole is very. Besides who you don't even think about is who you voted for or whatever. I like watching the inauguration because it's a symbol of I don't know. There's something about it. Just watching it. I just find it like I'm dorky when it comes to that kind of shit. But dude. Somebody definitely should have said something to Jeff Bezos' wife. Somebody should have just leaned in. Joe, did you see that? She was going Seinfeld up in there. She just had a lingerie bra on underneath her top jacket, and her tits were out. Dude, Zuckerberg was like looking. He got caught looking at him.
Yeah, I'm like, Zuck's doing his best. He's on a different level now.
Yeah, real quick, somebody should just lean in and be like, Jeff, tell your wife this is the Alex Theater. This is a family theater, not one of your swing joints.
I mean, we can make fun of her all you want, but you see Fetterman at the stupid thing?
Yeah, I saw him. Oof.
What is wrong with that dude? I don't care. This is the thing. So if no one saw, this absolute moron wore shorts, like gym shorts and a sweatshirt to an inauguration. And again, like, whatever your thoughts on it, there's a lot of pomp and circumstance to this. This is one of those events where it's like a suit minimum. Like, you should probably be wearing a tux. It's like a big, huge event. This moron shows up in a sweatshirt and shorts, which not even like, hey, you didn't get the dress code memo. Also, it's like 4 degrees outside and you're walking around in gym shorts. God, white people... whenever, doesn't matter how cold it is, there's always a white person in shorts.
Oh, that's not entirely true either, because I know African Americans that like wear shorts all year round.
They'll pop on shorts. I don't know, man. It feels like wherever it is, it's always the whites. There's always, it doesn't matter how cold it is, there's a white dude in shorts, and you're like
it's almost like when you're showing up like this, it doesn't matter if it's like cargo shorts and sweats or whatever, you're coming into sweats. And like it just like Jerry said, like if you're coming out into society and you're dressed like that, you're telling all of us you've completely given up. You've given up.
Done. You've given up.
You've checked out on life.
Man. I saw that. I couldn't believe it. It's like when you have like a teenager, like a 14-year-old teenager that's just moody and won't wear like the clothes you give him to church. And you're like, you're an adult man. Put some long pants on.
I tell you who was not. I tell you who was not having their girls out around or wearing shorts out, and it was those the Birds fans and the Bills fans, Chiefs and Rams fans, or like in those visiting stadiums, like those, like, man, dude. I mean, me personally, I was just watching. Oh, I'm sorry. No, not Bills. The Bills and Ravens fans, like up there and up.
Up there in Buffalo.
Up of Buffalo, man. Yeah, sorry, I got
Two
tossed around there, Brett.
Two snowy games. I think it was snowier at our game, right, than it was in Buffalo. But I'm sure it was
like,
just as cold.
Colder up there, I feel. I don't know, man. It was just man, we are getting racked with I was gonna say the other bad word. We're getting racked with just this cold, man. It is brutal out.
Dude, I couldn't imagine. Like, you're out there. I can't remember what the temperature was on Sunday. It wasn't like as bad as it is now, but like up in Buffalo too, and it's like 5-10 degrees, like just getting hit. You know what I mean? Like, it's amazing these guys didn't shatter into a million pieces, like a piece of glass just getting hit. You know what I mean?
I guarantee there was some wild lunatic up in Buffalo without a shirt on getting hit. He's probably still in or dead.
Yeah, he probably lost a few digits. You know what I mean? He got frostbite, losing fingers.
Yeah, heart failure and hypothermia.
Nipples falling off as they're froze.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But this weekend we're going to be down there. We're going to be at the game, so it's not. I feel like it's just going to be the same, similar to what it was when we played San Francisco in 23.
Yeah. You feeling good about the game? Feeling good on the Birds' end?
I mean, if we play like that, I give like a lot of like that was a great game. I didn't really have too many issues with any of the penalties or anything. I felt that it was like a straight up, fairly officiated game.
Well, how's Jalen Hurts' leg doing?
Apparently he's doing good. I saw, and Quinyon Mitchell's back in, so right. I mean, it's going to be dry. So everybody's like, oh, the Eagles really benefited on the snow, and I'm like, I don't think either team benefited on the snow. I think both teams are just like, let's get the hell out of here. Let's try to get the win and get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I don't think anyone the only way I can see being beneficial was the couple pretty long runs we had. Saquon just hit, but that's not. I don't know if that was the snow or just Saquon being really good at football. I mean, he got away twice, right, and just had these huge, massive runs.
Oh, dude, he's really good at playing his. That's his. Yeah, that's his.
And that's if there was any safety or whatever that just slips a little bit, like they're messed up. They're gone. But Saquon could have slipped too, and he didn't because. I don't know, dude. Once that dude gets a football, he's impossible to take down.
I gotta give it to Matt Stafford, man. Like, dude, that guy just throwing, and like those were like I was impressed with how that were with the winds, dude. It was like 25-mile-an-hour wind gusts down there.
Yeah, tell Jake Elliott, he knows.
Yeah. Oh God. But yeah, man, and then their defense played, both teams played their asses off, and somebody had to come away with a win. So obviously it was going to be the Eagles because of Saquon Barkley just running wild.
Exactly, he was the saving grace, right? When Jalen hurt his leg, I was like, oh man, and we just had to rely on. We got that safety right out. You just had to rely on Saquon giving it to him every time, and man, he pulled through.
Oh my God, I was like, who the hell came up with this design play? Like, why? Why are you doing this?
Yeah, that should have been a short route. You're too close to the end zone. Yeah, that was
a short route. It should have just run the ball.
Yeah. I mean, they did. They ran it for the first down, and then it was second. And they were trying to get away, but whatever. It is what it is. We still came away with the win, and now we're going into Sunday. I feel good about it, but at the same time, man, the Commanders are just kind of tricking everyone. You know what I mean? They're having
absolutely, yeah.
They're the luckiest team in football right now.
Oh my God! I was talking to a buddy. I don't know if you remember Samp. We're going to put it that way. Samp, Rydog. Yeah, and he's a Washington fan, and I talk to him and stuff like that. He's, you know what I mean. I'll talk to smart fans. I won't talk to idiots. He's just having to. I was like, good for you, man. Like, dude, you guys are going to be. And I told him, I was like, how hilarious is it that we got Saquon off the free agency that's going off, and you got Jaden Daniels, who they passed on because they had Danny Cutlets, and now they're both in the NFC Championship game, and the Giants are totally screwed.
Yeah. Wild,
I was like, dude, I was like, dude, the NFC East is going to be up between us and you guys. I mean, I can foresee Dallas once or twice coming in. You know what I mean? Just poking in there every once in a while.
We'll see, man.
We'll see.
As soon as Dallas gets to the wild card, they just fall apart. It's like death and taxes. The Cowboys can't get into the out of the wild card.
Yeah. But ladies and gentlemen, we Joe and I will be going live down at the tailgate, and we want to bring a little bit out. And we're going to be talking to both Eagles fans, and we're going to talk to some Washington fans. You know what I mean? See how they feel about the game. Try to bring a different perspective than what some idiot did he baited. I felt like that guy was going in there and baiting Eagles fans, but that guy was totally in the wrong for saying those. They were both assholes.
Yeah, today's society, man, you can never be too careful with what you say on the internet. And there's cameras everywhere. You know what I mean? Not just security cameras, but there's always someone that's going to put a camera in your face recording it. And if it catches, like something on Twitter or Reels or something, TikTok.
But that dude was a loser. You see what he did? He's from Pennsylvania, and he's a Packers fan, and he's from I don't know where I think he's from the other side of the state or from Ohio. But he started a GoFundMe page. Send me to Philadelphia to watch my Packers beat the Eagles and stuff. I'm going to film all this toxic stuff. Bro, really? You're begging other people to send you to the game?
Yeah, I mean, I hate. Well,
total violation.
GoFundMe, but GoFundMe's can get a little out of hand. I'll put it that way. They do a lot of help. They're definitely the leading cause of healthcare bills in this country, but they also are people who use them for anything they can figure out. You know what I mean? Don't send me a stupid GoFundMe because you need to plan a bachelor party or something. You know what I mean? That's on you.
Well, I mean, in regards, you know what I mean? It could be an emergency or something like that. You know what I mean? Hey, we spent all of our money on medical bills and stuff like that, and now my wife and I, you know what I mean, something like that, or a funeral or something. Somebody who's actually stuck in bad times. Maybe the families down there in North Carolina,
right.
or the non-rich people out in California.
Dude, but
I'm that was another thing too. That is absolutely horrible what's going on out in California. What happened out there?
Yeah,
but don't if they had the cameras out in Malibu. I was like, yo, you better get these cameras out of Malibu, because there's not a single person living in Malibu that's poor or minimum wage.
An expensive area. I will say, so I mean, the lab I work at is based out of LA, and I mean, we're down by the airport, so far away from the fires, a few miles away. We still lost power for a few days, and the sky looks like Armageddon, it's all black. So I mean, there's a lot of normal people that are being affected by it too, and I'm sure it's gonna keep going on. It's insane what's going on out there, and hopefully they get it fixed up soon.
Yeah, hopefully this jet stream changes out. That wind coming down to the West Coast, all the way down through Mexico, and then back up the Gulf Coast, and then up the Eastern Seaboard. Yeah.
Well, we're starting to turn into a weather podcast. Maybe we should.
I do. That's another thing. Man, I don't trust local news or anything when it comes to weather, because they run on all these different models. So I follow it on social media, actual storm trackers that run. They put up all these different models that are saying this, and then they base it off of what everybody's going to have, or they come up with their own.
I know you're following the tornado wranglers. You know what I mean? If you can't tame it, wrangle it, or whatever it is he says.
Yep. If you can feel it, chase it.
That is the best meteorologist of our days.
Yep. So, but yeah, well, how do you feel about the Chiefs Buffalo game?
The Chiefs Buffalo game.
Dude, the Chiefs had that game handed to them on Saturday.
Okay.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah. I was getting confused because I was like, the Chiefs aren't playing Buffalo, right? They're not playing this upcoming game. You're talking about the game that happened this weekend.
Yeah. But also,
Yeah.
but they're playing Buffalo in the AFC Championship game after ours.
Right. Wait, so who did the Chiefs play this week? Why am
Well,
I
it's the AFC Championship game. They're playing Buffalo.
I mean, who did they play last week? I'm sorry.
They
I'm
played.
misspeaking.
They played Houston.
They played Houston. Okay.
Yeah.
I did not catch that game. So Chiefs, Buffalo, right? Because it was Buffalo and the Ravens.
Buffalo and the Ravens. Yeah.
Yeah, was this weekend. You would think with being less games, I'd be able to keep up with NFL more, but clearly I'm not.
Well, you had a wild week. You had a wild weekend.
I did have a wild weekend. It was a bachelorette party that I was halfway roped into, dancing the night away in underground clubs. But
everybody scream.
We were having a good old time.
I can't even imagine.
I think the Chiefs will probably come away with it. I would like to see Buffalo. I just don't want to repeat, of playing Kansas City again. I just don't like playing Kansas City, and I would like to see them not in the Super Bowl. Yeah. So,
I'd like to see. I said my dream Super Bowl is Buffalo and Philly, and you know why? Those lunatics up there and us lunatics down here, it'd be like the Monday Night Wars, dude. Yeah. It'd be like the NWO versus D Generation X.
Well, I really wanted to see Baltimore and Philly in it, but I just didn't think Baltimore. They didn't have the juice. You know what I mean? They weren't going to make it in.
Yeah.
But a good battle of the birds. That would have been fun.
I did have that picked.
Did you?
Yeah, I did have that picked for just a bold prediction at the beginning of the year that it's like a friendly thing.
That is a bold prediction, but you're almost there. We're close.
I was close.
Yeah, we'll see. I think Kansas City will probably come away with it just because they're still a really good team. But I'll be rooting for Buffalo.
Yep. Well, this weekend, man. As Brock Lesnar said, pigs get fat and hogs get slaughtered.
True that. Truer words,
Yeah. So pickle beer, bro. That was my newest beer that I've tried. And let me tell you something. It's very unique. Now, I've had a pickle shot down in Ocean City, Maryland.
Sure.
I had that one. I don't know if you're aware of that, the pickle bar. That's actually not a bad shot. I don't mind it. I don't know. But, man, have you ever had a pickle beer?
I don't like pickles, Mike. I'm not a fan of pickles. Whenever I get a burger, I say, hold the pickles.
The only time that I will buy a pickle beer is if I'm going to be marinating chicken. Like I'm going to be putting in I'm going to be doing fried chicken. So I'm going to be like putting all this chicken into a bucket with this pickle beer. I would absolutely do that.
So does the beer taste like pickle? Like it's real vinegary?
Oh no, it's basically beer and pickle juice. It's like light beer and pickle juice mixed together.
Ugh.
I know. I took one sip of it and my face fucking caved in.
Yeah, that sounds terrible. Yeah. It's like the kid on the Warhead candy. You know what I mean?
Dude,
Smoke coming out your ears. Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, who made this shit? But no, I would definitely buy that for marinating chicken in and then pulling the chicken out and then adding a little bit of it into like a beer batter type of mix. And then flour, beer batter, into the hot oil.
Into the oil. Drop her in there. Hey man, that sounds great for you. I don't like. I don't think I would love pickle flavored chicken. I don't want that.
Oh no.
Pickle in
well,
there.
That's so you like Chick-fil-A, right?
I don't. I'm not a big Chick-fil-A guy.
Well, no. So if the chicken does taste like
train.
If the chicken does taste like pickle, it's been in it too long. It's not supposed to. It's that brine and the alcohol is supposed to tenderize the chicken. So you're only supposed to keep it in for like definitely no more than an hour.
Okay.
I would say for a large portion, like if I was doing a 5-gallon bucket, said I'd probably be around like 60 pounds or maybe close to 50 pounds, 45, but we'll go 45 pounds of chicken because I think that's what I had in there when I did that the holy chicken. You're putting all that in there. Probably only need like 4 or 5 beers somewhere in there, and then you're only letting it in there sit. mix it all up and stuff like that, and then you want to sit it in the fridge and just let it sit in that for like an hour, and that helps between the alcohol and that it helps break it down. And then you only add just a little bit of that stuff, like the juice, to your batter.
Okay.
So, and it all depends on how thick your batter is. Like if you got like a really runny batter, like you're gonna go flour batter. You know what I mean? You're gonna keep on back and forth creating those layers. But if you have a real thick batter, like a pancake batter thickness, you're going to just want to put the chicken in flour and then boom, right into that batter and then into the. It all depends on the thickness. You know what I mean? Because you don't want all this. That's why people just tend to, go with a lighter consistency in the batter.
Sure. I trust you. I don't.
It's really good when you're doing like Cajun fried chicken.
Okay. What, and using the pickle, John, with it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You've had chicken up here that I've done in pickle.
Oh,
Well, not
really?
pickled beer, yeah, but I marinated in pickle. I've done when I do that Alabama white sauce smoked chicken. Like that's marinated in pickle. Like I eat pickles and then I save the brine, and then once I have like a bunch of brine saved up, I just dump them all into the same container with the chicken and let them sit in there, and then yeah.
Well, I guess the best compliment I can give you is I did not taste any pickle in whatever chicken that was.
See,
I would have sent it back.
Yeah, it was pretty good. No, don't send it back. When you send it, you want to send it. Mike, this chicken sucks.
This chicken? Get out of here.
Just throw it out the door. Throw it at me.
Will fly again.
Yeah. Mike, this sucks. My dad once, it was like, so when you're smoking chicken, sometimes around the joints, like sometimes around the chicken, you get that smoke barrier. Like you get that smoke, the smoke ring.
Yeah.
My dad's like eating a chicken. He's like, "This is raw," and I was like, "What do you mean?" And I looked in it, and it was like, I was like, "That's the smoke ring on the chicken, you dumbass."
Well, he doesn't know. He's trying not to get salmonella,
Yeah, well, we all eat chicken, and everything was fine. I made sure I checked everything. I shredded everything just to double check because it freaks me out, man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not trying to be serving people bad fucking food.
Yeah, you don't want raw chicken. That's the worst of it.
Yeah,
Gordon Ramsay tear you up.
My dad's just not into that type of chicken. He likes barbecue chicken. Like already, like my mom would do it. She would take all the pics of the chicken, put it in a pressure cooker,
okay,
and then cook it off in there, and then take it out, and then just dunk it in barbecue sauce, and then grill it up, and just constantly baste it with barbecue sauce.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
you can get some good barbecue chicken.
Yeah, I would do something similar, not that way. I would do something a lot different.
Yeah,
like you can't just like, I can't eat that. I can't eat that. You putting it in the pressure cooker and then taking it out and just
slather it in some barbecue sauce. Yeah,
not even just like regular. It's just like Kraft barbecue sauce.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, at least get some something good, right?
Yeah, but
Why don't we cut to a commercial quick? This is, if you guys weren't aware already, the Home Bar Happy Hour. Every Thursday at 4:30 p.m. we bring happy hour to you. We are brought to you by buyblacket.com. We're going to tell you about that right now. This episode of Home Bar Happy Hour is brought to you by buybeckett.com. Head over to buybeckett.com/homebarhappy to shop their happy hour line of clothing and gifts. They have cool t-shirts, sweatshirts, and fun coffee mugs that lets everyone know you care about the important things in life, like happy hour. And if you use our link, you can get 15% off your first order. Buy Beckett has a ton of great clothing and accessory options, from their happy hour line to their veteran first line. Mike and I are both vets, and we love showing our support for the troops with a cool mug or a funny t-shirt. They have some really great stuff, and you will not be disappointed. So head over to buybeckett.com/homebarhappy or use the link in the description for 15% off your first order. Help support the show and get yourself some great stuff. That's buybeckett.com/homebarhappy or use the link in the description. So, Mike, we hit on the Super Bowl, which is the biggest, sporting event of the year. But I think the other biggest event of this year is going to be Grand Theft Auto 6. It has been 13 years, 12 years since the last Grand Theft Auto, since Grand Theft Auto 5, and they're coming back with GTA 6. Have you seen any stuff on it?
I did. I have a question for you because this the whole game looks absolutely insane.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty
So I have a
bonkers.
question for you. I was like, do you know? So I have the Xbox One.
Uh-huh.
Do I need to get the Xbox X to play this game? Because
Yeah,
it's,
you're gonna have to get the Series S, X, or a PS5 to play this thing. Yeah, this is like the first one. Hey, to be fair, right? Like, we are 5 years into these consoles life cycle, and this is like one of the first like really truly exclusive games. So they've been supporting the thing a lot, but GTA 6 is just way too big to be able to run on those older consoles.
you'll need to get what, the terabyte?
Yeah, I mean, you should. I'd probably go for the big boy, the Series X. That's the one to do. But you can get the Series S for like $300. That bad boy will play it too. As long one of those. They're all digital. That's the big difference with them, and they don't have as good of graphics, but they'll play all the new stuff.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'm still in a Call of Duty, so but we'll get into that after we're done with our review. Man, dude,
call it a preview.
So, yeah, this preview. So I don't know, from what I've read, apparently it's so minute in detail that now for me, like all that open world environment, that's what everybody loves about Grand Theft Auto.
Right.
I don't even play Grand Theft Auto for the missions. I play just
putz around,
yeah, it just cause
havoc. Yeah.
So apparently, like if you're going and you're causing havoc, like, you know what I mean, like hauling ass down the street, or everybody breaks out their phone and records you on social media, and then you start getting social media things on your phone, not your personal phone, the phone on the game.
Yeah.
And dude, that's wild. And then next thing you know, you got like police looking for you. I'm like, dude, this is going to be impossible.
It's going to be like, even going back and playing Grand Theft Auto 5, there's not like many games that have like as big of a world, or like such a lived in world, right? Like you can just follow someone around in Grand Theft Auto, like an NPC, and you're like, watching them like live their life. Most games, like you see a person and they're dancing in a circle or something, right? GTA 6 is going to be pretty insane in that way. At least that's what people are saying.
Like if you get in an accident or anything, it doesn't matter if it's a little fender bender or like somebody if you get in an accident, like the whole kit and caboodle comes out as if it was in the real world. Like, so like it does everyone. So you got like the fire engine, the EMTs, the police are out there doing a investigation. You know what I mean? Like they're questioning people. Everything's roped off. Like all that stuff. And then once they get your report, then your report comes up, and I'm pretty sure like they put some sort of AI into this game, to create it. I'm not 100% sure. I thought I saw that somewhere on X.
I mean, AI's got a couple different right? Like, so AI can also just mean like the intelligence of the NPCs, right? But if there could be like some AI that's like generating things as it goes along. I would be surprised, man, if Rockstar does that, or the ones that are making it. It seems like anytime anyone uses the word AI, like people freak out. Like the new movie, The Brutalist, is out, that people are freaking out because they use some AI for Hungarian dialect or something. And, it's like, oh, you're taking jobs away from people. So I would be surprised if they were doing any of that stuff. I don't think we're far away from seeing like games that have a lot of generation from AI, just because, man, it's so expensive to make. I mean, they've been making this game for 15 years, right? Think about how many hundreds of people working on this thing and not being able to put it out for that long. Like, you got to get those $70-$80, whatever this game's. I bet this game, most video games cost like $70 now. I bet this game's going to cost more. I bet they're going to get you for 80.
Dude, if Call of Duty Call of Duty basically almost goes for $100.
I know, right? They try to get you on the special editions and whatever else. Yeah, this game's gonna, be more expensive.
Yeah, I'm thinking that it's going to be around there because Call of Duty and this will be like the two cornerstone games.
Yeah, I'm a gamer. You know what I mean? Like I play 20, 30 games a year. through all the way, but there are some people, you're probably fall into this category, right? Like people that play Call of Duty, Madden, and like that's probably it every year. You know what I mean?
I quit playing Madden. I think I don't know. I think probably a long time ago.
Yeah.
I stopped playing Madden. It was like I just got tired of like the constant like, dude, you have like. There's so many, like, so much you got to do to, like, dude, just give me the hit stick.
Right. Yeah.
I don't need all this stuff. I just need the basic, you know what I mean? Like everything from, like, the quarterback is, like, I remember when they started doing the, I know we're getting off topic here, but I remember when Madden started doing, like, the different directions and stuff like that for field goals and kickoffs. And punts. Like, all that stuff. Well, like... That now they took that same concept and I believe they put it into the quarterback play, and then it goes and once the ball's in the air, and then you can control the of the wide receiver or whoever's catching it, and then you got to do their attributes and stuff as the ball's in play. I'm like, dude, this is I can't do no. Sorry, that's too out of control for me. I just like
super complicated. Yeah, I don't play many sports games. I did pick up the MLB, the show, a couple years back, and first pitch, a ball's coming at me, and it's like you got to move the stick at a certain angle, and you swing it faster to get it to left field, slower. And I'm like, what happened to just like hitting A? You know what I mean? I just want to I want to hit X and try and hit a homer every time.
Yeah. So that's why I used to stop playing Madden. But back to like GTA 6, like, dude, the real. I want to go back to like the realism of this game.
Yeah.
Like I did read where if you're I'm trying to word this correctly without being too violent about it. So the gunshot wounds.
Sure.
Everybody knows GTA is a violent game.
Pretty violent.
So, so like the gunshot wounds is like, dude, like people, it's all like how it would happen in real life. So like that, like I thought that was pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's going to be not, I mean, Grand Theft Auto since its inception back in 96 or whatever, the first one has always been a, bed of controversy. And I don't think that's going to change here. I think, especially as games are getting more real and crazier and, you have these super high fidelity graphics, it'll be wild to see what's going on in this one and what they can get away with rating wise. And, my parents, their basement flooded about a month or two ago. So me and the whole family were there, taking stuff out. And I have nephews that are about 10 years younger than me. So they're all in their 20s, but they used to stay over my parents' house a lot. And my mom found a Grand Theft Auto 5 game for PlayStation 3 and started freaking. She's like, whose was this? I was like, I don't know. One of these nephews, they snuck it in. My mom knows nothing about video games, but she knows that there shouldn't have been any 12, 13-year-olds playing Grand Theft Auto 5. I'm like, yep, you're right. That wasn't me.
I remember I had no idea about this game. I remember when Miami Vice came out and we were in Iraq, and I was like, dude, that's all those guys on PlayStation were playing was Miami Vice.
You mean Grand Theft Auto Vice City?
Or Vice City, yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, Vice City. And I was an Xbox guy. So I had I'm sitting over there and I have my Halo. You know what I mean? And but yeah, I think San Andreas was probably like my favorite one.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I like 5 a lot. I like that 5 is in the San Andreas area. I connect with that Cali aesthetic a little bit better. But I am really excited to go back to 6 is going to be in Vice City. It's going to be that Miami kind of feel. And it looks so Florida. Like the trailer they put out, they got people wrestling alligators and people going mud. Oh, yeah. Yep.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, they're going full on Florida.
You're gonna see like a random monster truck with an American flag just hauling ass down the side of the highway.
Yeah, absolutely.
I saw
fight
that
off gators from your lanai. It's gonna be real Florida.
I saw that happen once when I was down in Florida with my buddies who live down there. We were just driving down the highway and I just look over and there's like a monster truck going down. Just a random monster truck with an American flag. I was like, what the? I was like, Jesus. Yeah.
I love
this is random.
that it might be random to you, but in Miami, boy, that's a Thursday. That's just that is nothing.
Well, this was on the opposite side of Miami. This was over in the Fort Myers area.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not much better up there.
Yeah, what we call that's where all those. Well, if you're not, basically you're a senior citizen or college, but yeah, senior citizens like retiring. Boca Vista.
Well, Boca Vista. It is wild that Florida is like almost exclusively like people under 25 or over 55. Like all that middle people leave that state and then they come back when they hit a certain age.
Yeah, well, the snowbirds are really getting it. They were like, "Oh my god, I came down to Florida to get away from the snow, and now they got as much snow as we have up here."
Yeah, a buddy I work with lives in Louisiana. Got 10 inches of snow. Gutters flew right off his house.
Jesus.
Yeah. Well, dude, me pictures of gutters in his front lawn.
I saw like New Orleans, like nobody could go anywhere because they don't have salt trucks or plows.
Yeah, that's the thing people don't get, right? Like my dad grew up in Georgia, and a couple years ago they got like 2 inches of snow, and the whole state was like, and the same thing happened right in Texas a couple years ago. They had that big ice storm. Everyone's like, oh, I can't handle a little bit of ice. You're like, yeah, do they live in Texas? No one has been putting money into snow plows or salt trucks or nothing, right? Like they weren't planning for this.
Well, I'd say like mid to southern Texas. Northern or northwest Texas seems like it could get a little snowy at night.
Yeah, it probably could. I think this was like Austin area where they got the ice storm a few years back and knocked out power for like 10,000 people or something wild.
Dude, anywhere you get 2 inches of ice anywhere, it's going to shut places down.
Yeah, you're toast.
Yeah, but so nobody could go anywhere because there's nobody to plow the road. So it's like
exactly, yeah, you're stuck.
I saw one dude had there was an Uber driver dropping a dude off like he couldn't make it up the hill.
Yeah.
So they're like, you got to walk, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa. And then, so they got to wait until this weekend when it turns 60 degrees and it's all going to melt.
Yeah. It starts burning off. That's what you got to do.
That's wild.
Yeah, dude. You're just stuck.
Yeah. But yeah, now that we get off of that, dude, Call of Duty Season 2 is coming out. And I'm a big zombie guy.
Right.
So I like the zombies in there. If anybody have seen it, they're coming out with a new, it's called The Tomb. And it's a new chapter or a new map onto the zombies that are already on there. So I just hope that they get rid of this red light, green light, Squid Game shit.
Oh, is that going on right now?
They got the red light, green light that you have to run across the football field in the one stadium. And that's pretty wild. It's pretty fun. I don't know. Some guys like it. Some guys don't. And then they also do it in zombies. But that's like, this is dumb. This is stupid. You get swarmed by zombies. I'm like, you got to stay still. I was like, how is this even possible?
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, so... I like that. I wish they would come back with the one zombie map from I forget what it was, but it was the Nazi experiment castle, and it was like a castle where the Nazis were in the storyline where the Nazis were. That's they generated the stuff, and it's like one of the original maps from one of the original Call of Duties, and they had like the dragons come out. They got dragons coming out of the walls and shit and stuff. So. I thought that was pretty cool. I wish they could go back to that. And there's a few other old maps too. I think it was from the original from Black Ops 1 when Black Ops first came out.
Well, I mean, now Microsoft owns all of Activision, so they own all these Black Ops games. They own all the Call of Duties. I'm assuming at some point they're going to start throwing them onto Game Pass. And then I think
it's already on there.
Well, the new one is, but start throwing all the old ones on there, and then maybe start seeing a surge of people going back to the old Black Ops 1 and 2 and stuff on Xbox Live service. That'd be pretty cool. I'd be into that.
But they got this. I never played with the staff, so that's the new wonder weapon that's coming out for this one. But it's the staff is coming back. I forget what else. And then of course in a multiplayer, they got a bunch of different new multiplayer games and like maps and modes. So that looks like it's pretty cool. Also, Call of Duty DMZ is going to be coming out here, I think, the end of the year, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
but they're digging into all the games to find out what what people hated about it, because it has been pretty stupid. But
this new one was a good shot
better.
in the arm for him. I think the new Black Ops 6 really helped out old Activision. They needed the money, they were hurting after getting bought for $40 billion or something insane by Microsoft.
Oh yeah. But yeah, so I'm excited about that. Onto a movie review, Joe. I'm going to say it once. I'm going to say it. The movie Tank in 1984, made in 1984, came out on Netflix, and I was like, this looks like a movie I should review. Don't watch it. It is absolutely horrible. It is it's so corny and stupid, and frankly, it's pretty wild how offensive it is.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, dude, you got like army guys like beating their wives and stuff in there, and like, and they think it's okay, and I'm like, what is that? And then you got like the local sheriff is he's like running like a hooker service, and you got this one girl who's in there,
side hustle.
Yeah, but he's like a religious man, so like. He like you're commanding me, and then he's like, you know what to do. He pull down your drawers, and then he takes his belt off and starts whooping her like over the ass, like beating her. Like, I'm like, what is happening right now?
Wow.
Like, what am I watching?
Wild
and then
flick.
and then as soon as Southern Sheriff has like control of all this shit down there, and he's got like guys like he's using prisoners for cheap labor out in the woods for lumber, and then he kidnaps he gets into it with the sergeant major, and then the sergeant major, like he takes his kid, and he arrests him, and then so he's got to try and get him out of state to a different jurisdiction. That governor doesn't want to do anything about it. And I was like, dude, it's so corny, and it's so it was supposed to be a comedy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't think there's anything about this as comedic.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it's pretty, I'm like, I'll just literally leave it at that. And, but it was like definitely like the 80s Army, like the early 80s. Like, I don't want to say like it's the 80s Army. Like, I don't want to offend, any servicemen and women from back in there. But, it's just that I don't know what they were thinking or what kind of, I don't know where they were getting any of this from.
Yeah.
They made this movie. And basically, so the dude's got to he kidnaps his son. He breaks out a Bradley tank. He owns a Bradley tank. And then he takes it, runs down the sheriff's station with it, and gets his son. He's firing off rounds out of the fucking cannon, blowing up cars and shit. And then he ends up drives his tank across state to get to Tennessee, and then they finally get to the state line and where they can get a fair trial. But the movie just ends. It doesn't tell you how it ended. Like, did he get a fair trial or all this? And I'm like, it's just wild.
All right. I will make sure not to watch it. It is going on my not watch list.
I know, but you can't help but watch Forrest Gump.
Yeah, Forrest Gump's a good one.
My name's Forrest Gump. My name's Dorothy Gale. Well, now we ain't strangers anymore, now are we? No, we are not. And I'm like, dude, there's so many quotes from that movie. It's such a great movie.
I saw that movie for the first time probably like 6 years ago. It was like a gap in I'd never seen Forrest Gump, and then sat down and watched it. I was like, I guess I'll say pretty good. That's my review.
I thought it's a really good movie, and it gives you a little, you get a little teardrop there. All I know is that Jenny was a whore.
Jenny was a hoe bag, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Jen A is the worst villain in all of cinema.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, boy.
Jenny, yo, my girl. Oh, the best is like when he's like, Gary Sinise playing Lieutenant Dan was absolutely the best.
Oh, yeah. He nailed that role.
They gave you the Congressional Medal of Honor.
Yeah, he earned it. He got that shot in the butt,
Yeah, he's like, Lieutenant Dan, what are you doing here? He's like, I told you that if you became a shrimp boat captain, I was going to be your first mate. Well, here I am. I'm a man of my word. He's like, I want to get my sea legs out there. But Lieutenant Dan, you ain't got no legs. And I'm like, Richard Nixon, he's just like, where are you staying at? I was like, I'm staying at the Hotel Abbott. I'm like, no. I'll give you somewhere to stay. Somewhere my people will handle it. And they sent him to Watergate.
Yeah, that's the place, man. Watergate.
But so yeah, Joe, that's pretty much all I have today.
All right. You know what? I think that's all I got today, too. Thank you guys for joining us at Home Bar Happy Hour, which is apparently a weather and video game podcast now. You know, those are our discussions, you know.
Hey, we will be going live on TikTok. TikTok is going to be hanging around here for a little bit.
TikTok is saved.
Yeah.
Still around.
And even if it's not, we're just going to switch to a different, well, not switch. We're going to keep all of our other social media, obviously, but you know, I've already started digging into some like video editing softwares through Instagram instead of using TikTok stuff. So Instagram will probably be more facilitated in the absence of TikTok.
Yeah. If that ever goes, I think that'll stick around. But
yeah, somebody's going to buy it. They're just waiting for a good deal.
Yeah, for sure. They need to bring in the Shark Tank for that. Mark Cuban, step up to the plate, you know, calling you out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, look out for that. We'll see you guys on Sunday. Thank you guys for hanging out, and we'll see you next week.